get going with our bid presentation, I wanted to kind of go over a couple of things, give you a little outline of what you can expect during this presentation. First, we're going to go over a little bit about who we are. We're going to try to give you a little vision about what we thought your bid, our interpretation of your bid, and where we wanted it to go. Go over some hardware and software that we chose for you. And then the actual implementation process, if and when we are chosen, what the implementation process would entail and look like to you. And then some expectations that you might have, or that you could have with this during that process. And then we want to go over a little recap, kind of make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Okay, who are we? I'm Brian, you have Jason, and we also have Ramiro that is out on sick leave. We all have a combined 9 years experience in the IT industry, specializing in ground-up network installation for the commercial industry. Myself, I'm the design engineer, Jason the project manager, and Ramiro Serrano is the research support.
Now, we had a vision for your bid. Once we read it, kind of got to know it, we wanted to make sure that we had a couple things that we were making sure to take care of during this process. So our vision includes, we wanted to make sure that all of your needs were fulfilled. Everything in the bid was explicitly and taken care of and addressed. We wanted to make sure that you had flexibility options within the bid and during the process to make changes at any point in time. We wanted to make sure that there were any and all warranty concerns that you might have with any of the devices that were put or utilized or bought for you on your network. You wouldn't have to worry about that there were warranties for everything. And then any and all backup options. We wanted to actually give you multiple backup options to choose from, not actually have to not choose from, but say, hey, this is them and that's it. And then we wanted to make sure that you had growth potential built into your network, built into our bid. So if and when you do grow in the future, it's already there and easily able to do. Now, I'm going to kind of go over a couple of things. I don't want to go over each and every device, but I want to hit the major ones. For instance, on your servers, we chose 4 Dell PowerEdge R720 servers because these are the beasts of the industry. Each of these has 24 processor cores and hyper-threading, so it's actually 48 instances, 48 virtualized processors that you can use, 64 gigs of memory, and then multiple solid-state hard drives that are configured in RAID 5. The reason why we did this, we want to make sure that you had more than enough horsepower for anything and everything that you can do. The solid-state hard drives are blazingly fast, and they're configured in RAID 5 configuration. Just in case any one goes down, you're not shut down. Your business will still go, which should buy you enough time to have another hard drive shipped and pop it in so it can work, and so you can keep going without a hitch. Now, that's just the hardware. Each server, and there's 4 of these, each server has VMware vSphere as its hypervisor, which allows you to run multiple operating systems on each server. And then I'll go into more of the backup, more into this later about how it'll protect you. But just so you know, it does use VMware vSphere and it uses Microsoft Windows servers to manage your network environment. And also these servers and these devices have a 3-year warranty through Dell because they will be purchased through Dell. The workstations for your software engineers. For your workstations, we had to choose something that was a little bit more powerful than the industry standard. We went with quad-core Intel i5 processors because the type of computations that they do whenever they build and compile their software typically needs a little bit more power. These are Dell Optiplex 3020s. So they have 8 gigs of memory and 1 terabyte hard drives because you're going to be utilizing all that space once you're building all these multiple different softwares for all your different projects. They have integrated gigabit network adapters for fast communication to and from the network to your servers, and dual widescreen monitors. Now these are 23-inch widescreen monitors, and we went with duals because anytime you're developing, you need more than one monitor. You need one monitor for development space, and then another monitor for research or working out problems that you have going on. So we've noticed, and we've done a couple of these projects, we've noticed that you have increased productivity and you end up saving money in the long run if you use dual monitors for your employees. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to. Matter of fact, if you chose to only go with one monitor, we can actually change the bid to a company. These workstations are using the industry standard Windows 7 Professional, so your users shouldn't have any problems hopping on these new machines. They should be actually be pretty familiar with it, and they have a 3-year warranty through Dell as well. Now, there's a lot more information about the network that I did include here, but I wanted to touch on a lot of the main points. Your network that we build for you, or are hoping to build for you, is an all Cisco network. You have a fiber optic backbone from your main switch to distribution switches to each and all workstation machines. And then from the distribution switches and actually to the machines, you have a gigabit network. In the bid, you stated that you wanted a low latency network, so we figured having a fiber optic backbone is going to help make sure that your latency is actually minimal at the most. Now, the wireless, in the bid you also included wireless. We chose to go with Cisco wireless adapter as well. These particular wireless adapters that we chose were selected because they integrate with your Active Directory. If anybody tries to get on your network that is not specifically put by you into your Active Directory, they will not have access to your network. We chose these switches that we chose because of the fact that you have unlimited expanding potential. You can continually add more switches to this setup to add more employees up into almost infinity. We'll go over some limits here in a little bit. But these switches that we chose for you are able to handle twice as much data than you can physically hook up to it. For instance, say you have a 24-port switch, each running at gigabit speed. So that would be 24 gigabits of data that each one of these would handle. Just come stand up here. Each one of these will be able to handle, so that's 24 gigabits of data. Now, each of these servers can handle twice that. It can physically handle 48 gigabits of data. So at no point in time will your switches ever hold you back in the processing power that they have. Backup solutions. Now, we already mentioned that there's RAID 5 built into all the servers. If one of the solid-state hard drives go down, guess what? Another solid-state hard drive will pick right back up, so you have a chance to swap it out. But another thing we did, I mentioned VMware vSphere earlier. The good thing about VMware vSphere is we've set it up on all the networks. It has quite a few capabilities. All the instances of servers, say your database server, your mail server, your Active Directory server, it will load balance all of these servers across the 4 servers that we've included for you. You've also, you mentioned in the bid that you wanted us to create 2 servers for you that were specifically for Q&A, for testing of your software. So the VMware vSphere will allow that all of these servers that you load up will be load balanced. If any one of these goes down on any one of the devices, VMware vSphere will automatically bring it up on another device. Not only does it, yes, it does say here, not only does it bring it up on another device, it actually has 2 of them running at the same time at all times. So if one drops, the other one automatically kicks in, there's no service interruption, period. One thing that we did put in the bid, and you don't have to choose to do this because it is a little bit more pricey, is there's a service out there on the internet called Veeam, and it integrates with VMware vSphere, but it does the same things, but it does it off-site. So if all of the servers go down on the job site, this Veeam service will then pick it up off-site from the internet. Of course, your service will be a little bit slow because then it's dependent on your internet speed, but you are there and operating still.
Okay, in the implementation side, you have 4 phases: the initiation, the planning, the execution, and the closing phase. We've already completed the initiation and the planning phase, so if you accept this bid today, we will have 7 weeks to complete this action.
So just to kind of put it a little bit more into a better perspective, I'm a visual person, so I kind of need to see how that process goes. And as you can see, in bold, you have each of those 4 sections. We've already done the first 2. So from kickoff, from the moment you guys say go, you have, if I'm moving, the execution phase right here will kick in, and each and every device is listed that we install, the time that it's going to take, the closing period where we give you where we do the testing, where we do testing with you and put all the materials together. But it's all listed here, and we'll give you a copy of this so you know and you can keep track of where we're at.
Okay, and here is your a diagram of the floor plan. On the first floor, we have different departments. We have the management in their offices here. We have HR, and we also have accounting, and you have different teams out here. And we also have an IT department here in the top corner there. And the second floor plan is a layout of several of the teams here. You have team 2 and team 3 here. And in the diagram also, you can also see the wireless access points here and here.
Now I mentioned a little bit about the network, how it was laid out. And as I said, I'm a visual person, so here's the actual network map. And as you can see, the cloud is going to represent the internet, your connection, your business's connection to the internet. Then you have your first firewall, you have your first firewall there, which then hits your Cisco router. And this represents your main distribution switch, and every connection from the switch to other switches and to your servers is a fiber optic connection, because we want to make sure you have absolutely no latency whatsoever. These are going to represent your distribution switches, and by distribution I mean it distributes your network to all of the PCs, all of the workstation. And then we have the wireless access points connected to some of the distribution switches, because wireless speed doesn't really run as fast, so you don't need a fiber optic connection for those. And again, the wireless access points are connected by Active Directory, so anybody trying to get on your network will not be able to unless you specifically set them up.
Okay, and here you have the router configuration. We already have those broken down and already assigned already, and that is just the configuration diagram for that.
Now, about your network, and this is for the professionals who go a little bit more in depth. We've chose to go with a Class B network because we believe that your business is going to grow. We want to make sure that you don't have to retouch, readjust your network for quite a while, and if you do, there's minimal that you have to do. So we went with the Class B network, and we also set up 8 sub-networks. We figured you want to have the ability to have each department have its own sub-network, so each department can handle data without having to worry about another department or confidentiality. Say your HR department is working with Social Security numbers. We don't want somebody in another department accessing that if they don't have the permission. So because we've chose 8 sub-networks and because we've gone with the Class B network, you're available to have 8,190 IPs per sub-network, per department, which means that you can have 65,520 IPs total if you need them. So you shouldn't have to revisit addressing any network concerns for quite a while. Now, we went with, it's just kind of an example, a network ID of 180.10.0.0. And each department listed, admin, HR, management, team 1, team 2, your accounting department, your Q&A that you're going to have going on, and of course your IT department. This lists each and every single available IP that you can use for those departments. And again, if you add them up, it'll total up to 65,520 that you can use.
And we also have a database already established for you if you choose to use it. Right here is broken down by different projects, the employees, and the different teams. Next slide. Right here is a query for the projects that is already established. Next slide. One is also established for the employees, and the next one is done for the team. So if you choose to use it, we already have this one established for you.
And as you can see, they're working. We've actually queried them, and we are getting results from them. So they are working as of right now. Now, we wanted to go over a couple of expectations if and when you choose to go with this. Here's what you can expect from us. Weekly status updates. We want to make sure that you kind of know where we're at every week. We'll email you. Telephone conversations if you'd like. Anytime we hit a milestone that was specifically stated on our chart, anytime you hit a milestone, we'll give you a call, we'll email you, let you know however you'd like. We'll give you open access to the work site. So if you like to show up and see what's going on at any time, you can do that. Just kind of let us know so we can make sure that everything's safe. You don't need any protective equipment. 1 week testing period. At the end, when we're completely done, we'll make sure that you have 1 week to get your hands on the equipment so you can test it out. Make sure it's up to your specifications. Ask any questions at that point. Kind of get familiar with what you're going to be taking ownership of. After that, we'll complete a package for you. It'll have all your product information, all of your warranty information, all of your specifications of all your equipment, so you know where to reach out to in case something happens. Say one of the servers goes down, guess what? It'll have the number for Dell and for you to get something swapped out for you. And then we'll do a final demonstration for you, just to make sure that before we hand you the keys, everything's working as needed.
Okay, bottom line, all of this is for roughly $591,680.
Now that seems like quite a bit, but let's go back over a little bit about what this entails. We've included state-of-the-art hardware, a fiber backbone network, the ability to expand at any point in time, and to where you don't have to go back and make adjustments to your network because you already have it set it up right the first time. You've got warranties, 3 years from today, so you don't have to worry about any hardware failures in regards to any increased money coming out of your pocket, and multiple backup options. You don't have to worry about having something go down and mess up operations. Between all of the backup options that we've already included and the additional beam backup option, you don't have to worry about your system going down. And then unlimited growth and expansion potential, because we believe that your business is going to grow. And of course, it's only 180 employees now, but we think that you can go up to 65,000, and we hope you do. And we want to make sure that this is a network that you're with at that point in time. You don't have to make any additional adjustments or incur any additional costs later.
Okay. It's myself, Jason, and Ramiro. Sincerely, thank you for the opportunity to bid on your network needs. We look forward to lending you our expertise to your project and working with you in the near future. We're ready.
Any questions?
Steven, go ahead, ask a question, guys.
I got a question,
Yes.
and it's kind of like basically on the warranty. Why did you guys only submit for 3 years to earn the business of a bank, which banks have pretty much rapid growth? Why didn't you put more of a 5-year plan for?
We're not a bank.
Oh, is this not a bank?
This is not a bank.
Okay, what is it again?
This is the software engineering company.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a bank. I'm sorry.
But
But for that price, when you agree that maybe giving a little bit more of a guarantee for that
more than
price.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To earn business for future.
The additional cost can be put in there, and of course, if you choose to go for a 6-year warranty, we could definitely include that. However, we find that in the IT industry, equipment doesn't always stay on the job site that long.
Okay.
3 years,
I got you.
the technology is so old. You'll probably have equipment upgrades by then that you choose to do so.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I have a question on the wireless routers.
Yes.
Cisco.
Yes.
What routers are they? Because I'm actually interested in those that are integrated with AD for security purposes.
The Air CAP 2702E.
What was the cost on that each year? Roughly.
$492.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes, they are not cheap, but they have a lot more functionality than your typical.
Well, I think that's worth the price as far as
Yes.
security purposes. Nobody can come in and
Most
just hop on a wireless network.
Yeah, because you're working
Like
with
you
banking
mentioned.
software.
Exactly. And my project's going to be involved in actual bank, so I wasn't even considering the wireless option due to security. If it's integrated with AD, and then you have vendors come in, you could just give them a temp account or temporary token to access it and get it taken care of. As far as the
Understand that directly with the can access it.
Any other questions? I have a question.
Yes.
Why do you use 2 Class B network IDs?
What again?
Why you use 2 Class B network IDs? On floor one?
Oh, back here on floor layout.
Oh, yeah, that's a mistake.
Oh,
Typo.
Yeah.
Typo?
Yes, that is a typo.
Typo.
That's what we're
That's not supposed to be there.
Let's be different number.
180.
Go over there with your finger.
Not
make it
190,
look like an 8.
Supposed to be an 8, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's because the 8's right next to the 9,
I
so.
would do a marker and mark it on the screen, but you know.
You know, I was thinking I'd bring one of
I
them.
want $10,000
What
discount on this.
That's, 20 grand cheaper.
Any other question, guys?
I would just like to make a comment.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
thought that this was a very, very good presentation. I thought y'all were very thorough.